Hello, welcome back. So, I am doing something special with this car, and I've had it on the to do list. I just had to sort some things out, do some research, but I finally realized that I do want to protect this car for numerous reasons. Let's just start with the first one. Honestly, a lot of these newer cars, now this is new to me because I've never bought a new car before. I'm used to like 2000 and older, but the paint shifted at some point. A lot of the older cars were lead based paints, so clear coat the paint would last a lot longer. But with these newer cars, same conditions, same scenario, if your car parks outside in the sun, you're probably going to look at paint fade in the first year. And then you're more susceptible to paint chips and scratches and such. And just to give you an example, I haven't protected it yet. I'm just under 1,500 miles, but I already have a paint chip and it hurts my soul. But, I'm driving this car. It's a sports car. I take it up the canyons, and that's what it was built to do. But even with that, I got some paint chips. So I'm going to invest in this car and protect it because I do intend to also track this car. That's my second reason. For those of you guys that have gone to the track or experienced that before, or avid goers, you do beat up the car quite a bit. But one of the major ones that take the biggest abuse is your car, the paint. A lot of rock chips and a lot of rubber and just all types of debris that fly up from other cars when you're out there running circles in the desert or wherever you're at. But you're susceptible to more damage. So just one more added layer, just peace of mind for me to protect this car. And I'm doing a full body protectant with PPF. The other thing is, some of you guys are like, well, why don't you just wrap the car? Honestly, I like the look of the car, but I also want to preserve its OEM as it sits right now. So OEM as much as possible. But the other part of it too is PPF, that protectant is a different material. It's actually a lot thicker, and it's meant to absorb a lot of your debris from the road, whether you're on the track, whether you're on the street, doesn't matter. So that thicker added layer protects it even more so. So I'm going to do the full body, bumper, headlights, windshield, all the side paneling, the mirrors, everything you see on this car, the tail lamps. So I'm just going to go through it, and it's, to me personally, I want to own this car for a lifetime of it. I want to protect this car, so it's worth it to me to be able to protect every aspect of this car. So it's I'm over here at 60. They're over at La Habra. They've offered me a price, a summer deal that I couldn't refuse, and I went ahead and booked it. I'm also going to tint the windows. Now, I wanted a ceramic tint because, I'm sure you look at this car, it's like looking into a fishbowl, very transparent. Now, the sun out here in California, and now it's summertime, is pretty hot, and it can beat on you, and I feel really exposed. So I'm a fan of ceramic tint, and so I'm just going to go with a light shade all the way around, front windshield included. So I'm also going to tint the front windshield ceramic coat. Now, for those of you, the ceramic tint, that are not familiar with it, there's different levels of tint, right? Not just shade, but also types of protection. You can go with entry-level type film, which is plenty fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Tint it dark, and you do get some protection to it because you're adding a layer, right? But then there's other layers. There's other types of tint that add the ability to reflect or deflect the heat. Because under the sun, as you know, just like the paint, the inside of the car, the interior, rubber components, everything takes a toll when it's exposed to extreme weather, whether it's extreme heat or even extreme cold. So all these components taken into consideration for California, again, being the summer and all that, my skin does feel it when you're out there for a long time. I'm sure many of you do. So if you can protect yourself as much as possible, I want to. Now, I'm not aiming to go dark. That's why I'm choosing ceramic tint. Now, ceramic tint at this point in time offers the most protection for you coming through sun UV rays coming through the window. And that's what I'm going for. So I'm going to do, now that they're doing front windshields in every single window, believe it or not, this car actually has 8 windows. this is how they break it down. So obviously that's one window. This little guy is one window. That's a window. This little corner piece is a window. And then obviously the windshield. So 8 different surfaces that you have to cut separately to tint all the windows. Now, this is kind of like the timing was perfect because I do want to do all this before the summer. It's summer technically already started, but before it gets even deeper in the heat, I want to make sure that, one, this car is protected, the paint, of course, preservation of this body, but also I want to get that protection from the heat, from the windows. So this is just one extra little treat for myself, but also mainly for this car. I just want it to be as in the best shape as I possibly can because I do intend to keep this car for a lifetime. So that's really my goal for this. So they're going to get started. They're going to have the car for about a week. They're going to start prepping it. They're going to get going on it. And then they're going to tint it as well afterwards. And then I'll do a follow-up video on that once it's all done. So if you guys do have any questions regarding this process or even any comments or anything you want to add, just let me know. I really appreciate any kind of feedback or any thoughts you guys have. You guys have been giving me some feedback for sure and some of the previous stuff. I really do appreciate it. I like responding to you guys. So I appreciate that. Thank you. That's all I got for you. So I'll tune in to the next once this car's done. Just drove the car back from the shop getting PPF and full window tint all the way around. First impressions, I really like it. So I already knew the ceramic tint was going to do its magic with heat. It did really well. And it was just that much more enjoyable and not feeling like a fishbowl entirely. Because I didn't go that dark, 70%. But it's the heat that makes the difference. It's lesser. And then, of course, just this PPF will always keep the car looking clean all the time. So you can see there's definitely a difference between the matte and the gloss. I was really specific in wanting to keep that same look, and so that's what I did. Especially with the stripes. See if you can capture. A little glare, but should be gloss. And then matte in between. Even the tail lamps, individual pieces were wrapped. Each tail lamp had 8 pieces to cover all of it. One piece that I'm going to do is the Trueno label here. Now, because of it being a little small and very specific, we're actually going to get custom stencil just for this. and put basically gloss lettering on top of this layer of matte, just so that we can get those letters to pop that says Trueno Edition on the side. And since that was ordered custom and had to be made, it wasn't ready in time. So it's a few weeks out, but we're gonna get that done.